Sean Boyd, how are you, sir?
How are you doing, Jamie? All right?
I'm not too bad, thanks. Yourself?
Not bad, yeah, not bad. Keep busy.
Now, Sean is here to have a chat with us about trying to rehab a very, very, very serious injury in the middle of a lockdown with no gyms and no football teams to train with and no physios to see after picking up a really bad knee injury playing for the PFAI team in a game on December 11th, which is when the players were trying to get clubs for January. So, Sean, bring us back to December 11th and even before that, the reason for that game and what happened to you.
Yeah, so obviously I went in, decided to do, was in touch with the PFAI, decided to do their camp. I thought it would have been great. Obviously I was leaving Rovers after a few years there, so I just thought the PFAI thing would be great, just to see if there was, I had a couple of clubs onto me and stuff, but I just wanted to wait and see if there was kind of anything else that I just didn't want to rush anything, so I decided to do it. Went well, I loved it. It was with Derek Pender and Pat Flynn, and it was great, really enjoyed it. Went over to Finland with, they sent a player here, and with the PFAI sent the player over there, so we went over there for a few days and trained with their camp. It was going great, went well, everything was great, and then came back. They had a game lined up against Rochdale, their reserves, kind of a bounce game against them, and flew over there that morning, got there all grand, got ready for the match, went out, and I think it was 8 minutes in, it just landed funny on my knee and heard a crack, and it was sent to the hospital. So that was pretty much the gist of how it happened. I just kind of twisted my knee, and then I was in agony, stuck in a cold dressing room, no ambulance coming, and then eventually the ambulance came, brought me to the hospital, and I had an x-ray and rushed out of the hospital to get the flight home. The flight was that night, so trying to rush to get out and get home. So managed to get home, but then I had an MRI scan the next couple of days. Alan Byrne had sorted that out, I think, through the PFAI, so the results came back and he said it was a complete rupture ACL.
I remember seeing on Twitter just a few different people. I think a couple of the newspaper journalists were over watching the game in general. Steve McGuinness and Ollie Cahill invited a couple of journalists over to do features on players and the trip and stuff. And I remember seeing tweets that you'd seriously injured your knee, and you know you don't want to happen to anybody in a game like that with such a serious injury too. How quickly did you know how serious it was? Was it as soon as it happened? Was it when you got to the hospital? Was it when you got the scan?
Nah, straight away I kind of had it in my head. I think I remember I was crying coming off the pitch, on the stretcher. Just the pain of these, but it was just kind of, oh shit myself. Well, sorry, I was afraid.
It's okay, you can say shit yourself on a podcast.
Yeah, I was afraid, I was in fear, and I was thinking this is as bad as it is, and this, I'm after doing all sorts of my knee, and I was right. So I was glad in a way that I had a proper injury, because I was screaming and I was in agony and I was crying. So I would have, I made a big deal of it, but it turns out there was a reason.
And, if that happens to you playing for Shamrock Rovers in Tallaght Stadium or whatever it might be, or on loan at Finn Harps when you were, you're covered by the physios, the doctors, the insurance, you're straight to hospital, all that sort of stuff. But when you're over on a trip and you're in a different country and you're not under contract with anybody and you're with the PFAI, straight away, apart from the pain and I suppose the devastation of knowing a lot of your season was going to be over, you're also probably worried about costs and insurance and physio and rehab and all that stuff.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't even have a chance to think of that. The PFAI were straight on to me. Steve and Ollie were saying, listen, we'll look after you, we'll get you sorted. Straight away, I honestly, couldn't have happened quicker. They were saying, we'll sort you out, you're sorted with us, we're going to do everything. And then after that, it was constant back and forth messages with Ollie, and just seeing if I was okay, how everything was going, if I needed. I was in the Beacon a couple of times. They said, if you need anything, we'll cover it, just let us know, just bill it to us. So I can't thank them enough. They were brilliant. They paid for everything really and sorted me out big time. So very thankful for the two lads and all the PFI staff. They were brilliant with me, to be fair. And everyone, the coaches on that camp as well. The Bows kitman Collie was there. He was actually the one who came to the hospital with me. So he was stuck in the hospital with me for a few hours, came in the ambulance. And Browner obviously was the first one on me. So it was, very good of all of them, to be fair.
Like, that's one of the many reasons I love the League of Ireland, Sean, is that you would have been playing for Rovers against Bows, and Bows and Rovers hate each other. The players, the fans. I know hate is strong word, but in a football context, they don't like each other very much. And I remember you scored a famous goal in Tala a few years previous and stuff, and like for that to happen, and then for the Bows kitman to be in the ambulance with you, and the only person at that stage right beside you kind of looking after you because the rest of the lads were playing the match or looking after the match or whatever, like that's another great reason why this league is so good, isn't it?
It's brilliant, yeah. Honestly, it was funny, like, because Dan McDonald, I think, had tweeted the picture. He was over there, like you said. He tweeted a picture of me on the ground, and I think one of the Bows fans would give me a bit of stick because of that, whatever. Like, it was a few years ago, whatever, but obviously I had celebrated in front of them, and it was like a bit... Obviously, they're still a bit on air. I don't know, whatever. I still get stick there, probably because I was with Rovers for so long as well. But Collie, I was on my phone, like I was texting my dad, and I looked at the tweet because my dad didn't know yet. So I was on my phone looking at the tweet, and I seen the Bows fan. I showed Collie, he was laughing, saying we should send a picture back of me and him in the hospital room. We never did. Obviously, it would have been funny, but. It was brilliant, like, he was very, very good to me and looked after me, stayed with me the whole time. And to be fair, like, he knows, like, Tony Mack from the time Tony was at Bows and stuff like that. So, I have a bit of, there was something to talk about. There was people I would talk to him, asking about Tony, he would be talking to me, I would be asking questions. So it wasn't awkward at all. It was brilliant, like, and like you said, that's what the league is all about, and that's why it's so good.
Yeah, I think if you locked two League of Ireland people in any room, whether they be from any club, they'd be able to have a chat because there's just so much in common with everybody, really. Yeah. So, Sean, that happens on December 11th. Talk me through the timeline from then to, we're speaking at the end of March, start of April, and you're having to do rehab kind of yourself now in your house. I know you were in at Rovers, and Rovers have been great to you and all that sort of stuff too. And now you're in lockdown where you can't really do too much away from near your house. So just talk me through the timeline from then to now.
So after that, I had my MRI scan, was in touch with Alan Bourne, the doctor, and Tony Mack, and kind of just going, I had my scan, the doc was kind of on to me, let me know what had happened, how we're going to do it, whatever. And then Steve McPhail was on to me straight away and said, listen, Sean, if you need anything, blah, like, we'll help you out, we'll sort you, and whatever. And then Stephen Bradley rang me and said, what happened, was asked me about how I am and stuff like that. And then he said, listen, Sean, come in with the lads, we'll sort you out, we'll do your rehabbing with us, and we'll get you back on. And when you get back to training eventually, that you can train with us and you can try to get yourself back fit, and we'll help you out as much as we can, which is brilliant. And again, I can't thank him enough. I've known him a few years, like a long time now, and it just goes to show what kind of man he is when he's doing that for someone who had left the club and he had no real connection with anymore. I wasn't his player, and so he looked after me, which was brilliant. So then I was going in with Rovers, doing rehab with Tony Mack. There was another couple of lads who were in there with me, so it was grand. I was in the rehab room with Sean Cabinet, and then I'd be seeing like the lads around the dressing room, which was great for me. Like, I was getting out of the house every morning, and stuff like that. So it was brilliant, like, for my head to get out of the house and go and do stuff in the morning. So that was great. I had to wait a while to get the operation. So the operation was only a month ago, the 19th of February, I think it was. So I was waiting a while, so I was just building up kind of strength in my legs beforehand with Tony, who again has been absolutely fantastic. I wouldn't I couldn't trust him anymore really with the knee. I know he's done a couple of lads I know rehab with the knee, same injury, like Luke Bourne, done the exact same injury. So he's been there, done everything, and so he knows exactly what to do. So I was in there building strength up with Tony, and finally got a date. Well, not finally, but it was a bit pushed back, I think, today for the operation. I just think I couldn't get in. And I got a date, and then me and Tony were walking towards that, kind of getting as much in as possible. But I was actually jogging before I went in for my operation. So it was funny, like, it was nearly as if I was rehabbing the whole injury and not getting a surgery. But eventually got the surgery done, and Morris Nelligan in the Beacon operated on me, so that all went great. I seen him a couple of weeks after, and he had said it was pretty. He said that he was showing me pictures of the operation, and my knee, the inside of my knee was mad. So he said it went straightforward enough. He was happy, and everything was going to plan. So now from then, I've just been trying to get back, seeing Tony in his house, getting my range and my knee back, and then slowly starting to put a bit of kind of light strength work into it, and see how it goes. But it's been brilliant, like, to be fair, so far with Tony, and that he's been top class. So I've gone well so far, but now I have to obviously with the whole lockdown thing, it's been harder. But I've been in touch with Tony through like similar like calls like this, like Skype. I've been showing him. He's been showing me exercise to do and progress on. I've been doing them in my house, and I've been showing him my knee and through my phone. So picture of my knee. So no, it's been okay. Like, to be fair, it's, I don't actually have a lot to do that I can't do inside my house, so it's been all right so far.
Yeah, it's amazing now with phones and FaceTime and Skype and WhatsApp audio and Zoom and all these things that you can actually rehab an injury with the help of your physio when you're not with the physio. And we're going to have a look at some videos as well of you actually doing some rehab. So talk me through that process of what you've been doing at home, and also the help that the physio has been giving you literally via your phone.
Yeah, it's been funny. Like, I think Tony only done a course there recently on how to maximise the internet and phones and laptops and stuff like that. So I think I was a guinea pig where I was on the Zoom, I think it was, and he was going through all his desktop of the rehab work to do, and then he emailed it on to me. Then I had all of that. And then through the whole call, he was showing me all the exercise and explaining how to do that, how to do this. And to be fair, he explained it brilliantly, and I've been able to do all of it in my own home, which is like fantastic, really. I have a couple of weights, but apart from that, it's all Tony's explained everything so that you can work it in your house, really. So it's been good, like, so far. I've been doing that a couple of weeks now, and just constantly checking in with Tony. Asked him, is this okay? And then checking in with teammates I played with before, like Luke, who's done the same injury, and just constantly back and forth, like the likes of Joey O'Brien and Dave McAllister, Rona Finn, people who have played for years, who are much older than me and more experienced, and just constantly. Davey's had a bad knee injury, Joey's had a bad knee injury, Luke the same. So just asking, should my knee be doing this? Is this okay? What way should I do whatever? So I've just been getting a lot of tips on that off various different people. So it's been brilliant.
And Sean, from a mental point of view as well, everybody is trying to motivate themselves to do the extra bit of exercise and to eat well and stuff. The fact that, you know, you can't train with a team or play a football match or even go for a cycle in the gym on a treadmill or you know, do a personal training class. For you, given how crucial this time is, kind of 6 weeks post-operation, and the shape you're trying to get into so that you can return to, you know, running and training and eventually back to the League of Ireland, given that we're all locked in at the moment, how has that been? And have you been using any, you know, special techniques or whatever to mentally prepare yourself for having to do all of this? Yes, with people on Skype and stuff, but on your own.
To be fair, like I was doing stuff on my own at home before the whole country went into lockdown, so I was kind of in the swing of it a little bit. Only small things, like it was more with my range of movement, but it's been okay. Like I've got a couple of books. I've been given books by like Joey gave me a book, Luke gave me a book, Stephen Bradley gave me a book to read. So I've been kind of trying to keep busy with that side of it. And like I said, I was in my house like after my operation. I couldn't really go out, so I was kind of in my bed for like maybe a day after the operation, and then I was kind of I couldn't drive, I couldn't do anything, so I was kind of in my house anyway. So to be honest, I've been like on lockdown for the last 6 weeks, like you said, so it's been easier for me. My girlfriend is every day. She's busy like in work, college, so now she's freaking out, like doesn't know what to do. But I've been used to it now for a few weeks, so it's just kind of, I think the motivation is a hard one with getting up and doing something because there's nothing to do. So I just think I have to like set routines of, I have a schedule that I have to do on certain days, and then on the days off I've kind of tried to get out and do something. So like clean my room or clean the car, something like that, something small, just to keep busy. But most of the time I've just been on the PlayStation really.
Sean, talk to me about the League of Ireland family and the support that's been. And again, load of stuff on Twitter and Instagram, and I'm sure on your own Snapchat and stuff. And you mentioned a couple of ex-teammates and ex-managers and stuff and physios that have helped you. But in general, the support that you've got, and the reason why I'm chatting to you is because I saw one of your videos on Twitter or Instagram of you doing your exercise, and I wanted to highlight your story. And I'm sure lots of people, whether they be fans or supporters or just mates or players from other clubs, have maybe dropped you a DM or dropped you a tweet or a voice note just to say, keep it up and we're thinking of you.
Yeah, no, to be fair, as soon as I got back on my phone really after my injury, it was like people all over. I mean, like, wondering what happened. This is after the match, like, wonder what had happened and stuff like that. And then I got the news, I put it up on Twitter, just floods of people texting me, really. People who wouldn't really be friends with or anything, like wouldn't be my close friends, but just people going out of their way to be nice, which was like fantastic for me. I was sitting in agony and like gutted, like with what had happened, but just to say like there's nice people out there, and there's people who look after you, especially in this league. Like I had players off different clubs who I've never played with, met a couple of times, but nothing like not pally around really, where takes me up and say, listen, sorry to hear, hopefully it's not too bad, get better soon, whatever. Just something small, but like it meant a lot, and then I had I think a couple of weeks after I done mine, Mark Timlin off Finn Harps, who I played with last year, he had a similar injury, probably a little bit worse, but I've been in touch with Mark. We've been texting each other just about the operations, how it went and stuff like that. So it's been great. Like, and then obviously I've had old teammates who have been on top of me like from day one, really. So it's been great. Like, really has. I've had managers onto me from different clubs, and I went to the awards night, the soccer, was it, or you were there, Sam, I remember?
Yeah, every awards night. There was Soccer Riders, there was PFAI, there was the Irish Independent one, there was the Phillips Sports Manager or Signify Sports Manager. There was lots of them. You were probably, I think it was the PFAI or Soccer Riders, I think.
Yeah.
God knows. Sean, at Christmas time, all the football events merge into one.
Yeah, I think it was the Soccer Riders. Johnny Ward and Dan McDonald asked me to go. And I just said, yeah, fuck, I'll get out of the house and see what it's like. I had Jack Bourne was up for an award, so I was on the table with Jack, and I was like, whatever, it was grand. But I had managers and players there from different clubs come up to me and say, listen, if you ever need it, give me a text. And I know, like, it might not mean anything, but it means a lot to me. Like, it just goes to show that there's people there around you who are willing to look after you and stuff. And it's been great. And I suppose the most support I've got has been off the PFAI. They've been brilliant, so I just can't thank them enough.
Now, Sean Boyd, I said you could say the S word. The F word now is testing me. You didn't even know you said it.
That's going to kill me as well.
Don't worry about it. You see, when you're on the radio, your ears are tuned to all these words that aren't allowed. But when you're on a podcast, it's a bit different. Sean, lastly, have you allowed yourself to picture playing a League of Ireland game again in the future time? I'm sure you have. And what do you expect that to feel like? And I'm sure the quality player you are when you do go back, there'll be lots of managers knocking your door down to sign you up.
Yeah, to be honest, Jamie, I've been dreaming about playing football every night, like since I've gone to sleep. Like not every night, but most nights I'm dreaming of football in some capacity. I don't know what it means. I don't know what. I'm just thinking about football all the time. Obviously, it's got something to do with that. But every night when I'm going to sleep, I'm dreaming about playing football and kicking a ball. So yeah, obviously it's a goal now to go back and get into the league and prove people that I'm just as good, if not better, than I was before. So that's something to motivate me, and obviously to get back as best as possible and see how we get on. But yeah, I've been dreaming about football all the time. Like, it's funny. I don't know why, but it's just been in my dreams. But I don't know how I feel. I can't really picture now myself. I can't imagine walking out playing for the club, because I'm without a club now, so it's hard to describe where I'll be or who I'll be playing with or stuff like that. Or the feeling I feel. I don't know how I feel. Obviously, I can imagine I'll be like very satisfied, but I don't know. I remember Luke came back from his. I played in the game he played in, and he was buzzing after it. He was like absolutely delighted. So hopefully something similar to that, and then get on all right.
Yeah, well, anybody who's listening to this, we're on Skype, myself and Sean on video Skype, and the smile on his face when he's talking about dreaming about playing football is brilliant, and I can't wait to see you back, Sean. So thanks a million for your time. Best of luck with the rest of your rehab, and we'll speak to you soon. Cheers for having the chat.
Cheers, Jamie. Thanks for having me on. Thank you.